Right now, inside your body, a massive invisible war is dictating exactly how fast you are aging. Billions of your cells are currently choked with biological garbage, burned-out cellular powerhouses, mutated proteins, and toxic waste that physically accelerates wrinkles, brain fog, and muscle decline. But you possess a built-in fleet of microscopic trash collectors engineered to consume this waste, recycling it to restore youthful energy. The catch? Modern life has accidentally turned them completely off. Here is the exact science of how to trigger them. To understand how to stop aging, we have to look at a process called autophagy. Derived from the Greek words meaning self-eating, autophagy is your body's internal quality control system. Think of your cell like a high-end restaurant kitchen. During a frantic dinner rush, scraps of food drop onto the floor, grease builds up on the stoves, and equipment breaks down. If the kitchen staff never cleans up, the entire kitchen eventually grinds to a halt from the sheer accumulation of toxic filth. In your body, that filth is composed of misfolded proteins and worn-out mitochondria, your cellular power plants. When autophagy is active, your cells create specialized recycling bags called autophagosomes. These bags sweep through the cell, engulfing the cellular debris, and drag it to a central disposal unit called the lysosome. The lysosome shreds this toxic waste back down into basic amino acids and nutrients, using the garbage to fuel and build brand new, completely rejuvenated cell structures. The smoking gun of aging. What happens when your internal cell cleanup crew goes on strike? Recent longevity studies have uncovered a terrifying mechanism. When your body fails to recycle its burned-out cellular powerhouses, the mitochondria, they don't just sit there. They eventually rupture, leaking their internal genetic material directly into your muscle and tissue cells. Your body completely misinterprets this internal DNA leak, mistaking it for an invasive viral infection. This sets off a massive, chronic wave of autoinflammation that physically shrinks your muscles and accelerates brain decline. Aging isn't just a passage of time. It is literally the accumulation of uncollected cellular garbage. Why isn't this cleanup happening automatically all the time? Because your cells operate on a strict evolutionary binary controlled by two master nutrient sensors. The first is called mTORC1, the mammalian target of rapamycin. mTOR is your cell's primary growth switch. When you eat proteins, carbohydrates, or constant snacks, nutrients flood your bloodstream. mTOR senses this and flips to the on position, signaling the cell to grow, divide, and build new proteins. But biology follows a fundamental rule. A cell cannot build and clean at the same time. When mTOR is active, it acts like a security guard standing right in front of your cellular trash compactor, completely locking the mechanism down. Autophagy grinds to an absolute halt. To activate the cleanup crew, you must tip the scale to the opposite side, activating a longevity enzyme called AMPK. AMPK is your cell's low-energy sensor. It only turns on when nutrients are scarce, signaling to the body that it's time to stop expanding and start repairing what it already has. Before we look at the specific hours required, there is one massive dietary mistake that completely breaks your cellular trash compactors themselves, meaning even if you fast, the cleanup won't work. We will reveal that exact dietary trap in just a moment. First, let's look at the baseline trigger. To suppress mTOR and activate the AMPK longevity engine, your cells require a temporary state of perceived scarcity. The most efficient, evidence-based way to achieve this is through a structured, time-controlled fasting window. When you cross the 14 to 16-hour mark of an overnight fast, for example, finishing dinner by 7 p.m. and not consuming calories again until 11 a.m. the next morning, your systemic insulin levels plummet. This drop in incoming energy forces mTOR to switch off, instantly initiating robust autophagic recycling across your high-turnover tissues. The autophagy killer. Can you accidentally break your cell's trash compactors? Absolutely, and millions do it every single day through a specific type of fat. Recent cellular research reveals that chronic exposure to excess palmitic acid, a primary saturated fat found heavily in ultra-processed foods and low-quality oils, acts as a false nutrient sensor. It permanently glues the master growth switch, mTOR, into the on position. This creates a severe calcium overload inside your lysosomes, the actual trash compactors. The units become physically paralyzed. Even if you fast for days, your cells can no longer break down the waste, trapping you in a state of accelerated biological aging. While fasting sets the foundation, you can dramatically accelerate cellular cleanup through strategic physical stress. Your cellular maintenance crews only show up when there is a clear, perceived survival need. This is a concept known as hormesis, a beneficial biological response to low-dose stressors. Number 1. High-intensity exertion. Brief bursts of intense exercise rapidly deplete cellular energy stores. This acts like an emergency alarm, instantly forcing AMPK to activate and sending the cleanup crew deep into your skeletal muscle tissue to replace old, inefficient power plants with brand new ones. Number 2. Targeted bioactives. You can mimic the effects of fasting through specific natural compounds. Polyphenol found in colorful fruits, vegetables, and extra virgin olive oil actively support autophagic flux, helping to keep your cell membranes fluid and responsive to cleanup signals. But be warned, there is a critical tipping point. Excessive, uncontrolled autophagy can cross the line from a healthy cleanup to cellular destruction. Here is exactly how to balance the system for optimal longevity. When you successfully balance this cycle, allowing periods of nutrient abundance for growth, followed by dedicated windows of scarcity for cleanup, the systemic transformations are profound. In your brain, the clearance of misfolded proteins shields delicate neural pathways, optimizing cognitive speed and clearing away morning brain fog. In your skin and muscles, the elimination of senescent zombie cells reduces systemic inflammation, unlocking deep metabolic efficiency and sustained daily energy. The secret to cellular rejuvenation. The human body was never designed for constant luxury. When we live in a state of chronic comfort, eating every few hours, avoiding physical exertion, and staying perfectly climate-controlled, our internal cellular cleanup crew goes completely dormant. The toxic biological garbage simply builds up year after year. If you want to maintain youthful vitality, clear skin, and sharp cognitive function as you age, you have to deliberately invite brief periods of scarcity back into your life. Optimize your overnight fasting window, exercise with intensity, and let your body clean itself from the inside out. Understanding how your body cleanses itself at a microscopic level is the first definitive step toward mastering your biological age. To make sure you never miss our deep dives into human longevity, metabolic health, and the cutting-edge science of cellular performance, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Turn your cellular cleanup engines on, and we will see you in the next breakdown.